Just like old times.
All your times are old, Captain.
Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today we're gonna do a behind-the-scenes look at Disney's most recent film, Peter Pan and Wendy. In this video, we'll be sharing some secrets, we'll show you exclusive interviews with the cast and crew, and last but not least, we'll get into some controversies while peeking into the never-before-seen footage. So get ready and let's fly into the world of Peter Pan. Just a fair warning, spoilers ahead. Okay, let's start with the cast ensemble.
Are you Peter Pan?
Were you expecting someone else?
In my opinion, the cast ensemble for Peter Pan and Wendy is perfect. There, I said it. I know a lot of you are disappointed by Disney's woke elements in this movie, and to be honest, I get your point. Disney could make more diverse films without dividing us, without provoking hate, because let's face it, the actors involved in those woke projects suffer the most. Believe it or not, some of the actors received death threats, and that's a bit far, don't you think? Now, let's go back to Peter Pan and Wendy. The recent Disney live-action movie is an adaptation of the original Disney animated film Peter Pan, which was released way back in 1953. The animated version is considered to be one of the most successful Disney projects in the history, as it is one of the earliest projects by the company. The animated movie was, however, based on the classic story written by the legendary J.M. Barrie. In all of these projects, the story is about the same. There's a boy that can fly, and he can't age. Then he meets a young woman and her two brothers, and they all embark on a journey to Neverland where they meet the evil Captain Hook. There have been tons of Peter Pan screen adaptations over the years. There's a Steven Spielberg directed sequel with Robin Williams as a grown-up version of Peter in Hook, 1991, the Universal Peter Pan 2003, and one of the most recent adaptations titled Pan, which was released in 2015. And no, Peter Pan's tale won't stop with the 2023 version. There will be more adaptations in the future, whether we like it or not.
I thought we'd be friends. Instead, we're just
Fighting?
So, back when the director, David, announced the cast, Disney released the very first trailer for the film, and fans realized that this adaptation would be nothing like its predecessors. Not only were the characters different, but the entire story seemed darker and, well, altered. But what happened behind the scenes? Were there any big controversies? Who exactly was involved in the making of the film? Well, first we have Alexander as Peter Pan, Ever as Wendy, Josh as John, Jude as Captain Hook, Yara as Tinkerbell, and Alyssa as Tiger Lily. One of the best casting choices is, without a doubt, Mr. Smee, Hook's first mate, played by the comedian Jim. Again, I absolutely loved everyone in the cast of the film, and I think Disney should continue making more diverse movies because diversity and representation are important in media. This way, everyone, regardless of their race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, or ability, can see themselves and relate to the characters they see on the screen. I mentioned this in a separate video already, but maybe Disney should focus on making new diverse projects instead of focusing on remakes or reboots. Some Disney fans claim that they are in desperate need of something new, something unique. Do you agree with those fans? Let us know. Released by IGN, this behind-the-scenes footage features the previously mentioned cast members in several interviews. The interviews were made prior to the release of the film, and we absolutely love the fact that the actors were so close during filming. First, we can hear the director of the film, David, saying how challenging it was to make a live-action adaptation of Peter Pan. In his own words, Peter Pan is one of the crown jewels of the Disney library. Although he says he had his doubts about whether to adapt this story for the big screen, he said it was too good of an opportunity to pass up. Well, we couldn't agree more. In the video, Jude Law, who plays Hook, aka James in the movie, says he feels like this story had such a big impact on everyone's imagination, and he's absolutely right.
Get a course for Skull Rock!
Just like Super Mario Bros., a lot of generations grew up watching various adaptations of Peter Pan. The director of the film also explained that he wanted to investigate new ways to tell his story, to which Jim replies that this is actually Peter's story through Wendy's eyes. Ever Anderson is also interviewed and seems pretty satisfied with how the film turned out. As she describes it, she had so much fun being part of such a magical experience. As for Jude Law's Captain Hook, well, everyone, including the director and Law himself, agrees that this version of the character is different different from its predecessors. As the director puts it, this version of Hook is deliciously evil. In the film, we also discover why this feud between Pan and Hook started, and the backstory is incredible. It also showed us a different perspective. Then we have our beloved lead, Alexander. In the interview, he also said that he had a lot of fun filming this movie with all the pirates and of course the Lost Boys, to which his co-star Anderson replies that they had this incredible connection, which is what brings projects like this to life.
Yes, you would. If you went back home, it would be the end of all our fun, all our adventures.
Yara was amazing in the movie. Her portrayal of Tinkerbell is one of the most prominent features in the film, and as she says, the film stays loyal to the source material, as we get the exact amount of magic, but according to her, this new Peter Pan version tells more stories. Jude Law then explains how the creators of the film made this story even more human and more possible, with some fans criticizing the film for its very dark vibe. Do you guys think this story shouldn't have been so dark? The behind-the-scenes footage ends with David saying that every filming day was a joy, and their only purpose was to give the audience what they want. Well, I hope they reached their goal. This is another behind-the-scenes footage in which we see Alexander training sword fighting. Then we see the rest of the crew having an amazing time while filming the movie. Now, there are a lot of controversies following the director's decision to cast girls as Lost Boys. And this was not the only controversial topic linked in the film. There was a lot of backlash. Some Disney fans were angry with the director's decision to cast Alexander in the lead role. Others weren't satisfied with Anderson as Wendy, and perhaps the most criticized actress was Yara, who received so much criticism simply because she is not white. Again, I feel sad for these actors that suffer the most, and I hope more people will stop judging the cast members who are just doing their job. One of the most controversial casting choices was, however, the decision to cast girls as the Lost Boys. Following the official casting announcement, people on the internet started going after Peter Pan and Wendy's director, David. Shortly after, he started defending the castings. For those who hadn't seen the film yet, Peter takes Wendy and her brothers to Neverland, where they meet the forever young Lost Boys. This storyline occurs in every Peter Pan adaptation, but this time the Lost Boys aren't all boys. There are some girls in the group. Shortly after the first teaser trailer for the film was released, the director did an interview with SFX magazine to defend his controversial casting decision. And while some fans are still criticizing him for including girls in a group named Lost Boys, Lowry isn't too concerned about these fans and their remarks. In the same interview with CBR, he said, "Movies should be for everybody and it doesn't change the movie at all. It's the same story everyone grew up with. To each their own, but it's their loss. They're going to miss out on a great movie-going experience." That is a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching this behind-the-scenes look at Peter Pan and Wendy. We hope you enjoyed seeing how this live-action tale was brought to our screens. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at your favorite films and TV shows.
You dare to speak to me of friends, when all of yours now belong to me.